Jody and to Christelle and Valerie I just met today, because Christelle was an ex-student of mine. But Jody got a hold of me, and here I am. So let's hear it for her to bringing me. Okay. Thank you very much. This particular class today, we're going to talk about theater, improvisation, camera work, public speaking, and storytelling. Those are your choices. That's what you're here for today, to choose what you would like me to teach you. And it's fine. You all have a story, I'm sure. And remember, storytelling, public speaking, and camera work will all be on camera with playback. Theater work is monologues and scenes, or just monologues, or just scenes. Sometimes when I do it, I do a bare bones performance at the end. Can you hear me okay? Just you. Are you okay?
It's okay, I'm pretty deaf.
Okay, well, I'll talk a little louder if you need me to. I can talk really loud if you believe me. Well, believe me, I can talk loud. Anyway, I'm here to help you decide what you would like, and it would be my pleasure to come here on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, depending upon what you need or what you so choose to have. We do workshops. Workshops are a 3-hour workshop. We go from for 3 hours any one day that we choose. You can do a taste of improvisation, you can do basic camera techniques, you could do a cold reading for camera, all with playback, a little bit of public speaking if that's what you want. It's kind of hard to do theater in a one-day workshop. All I can do is teach you basic theater techniques. How many here have ever done the theater or camera work? Raise your hands. We got quite a few. Okay. How many here have not you? That's my assistant. That's my assistant, Ashley, over there. Grace is his hand. How many people have headshots ever taken? And okay, and agencies. Wow. Okay, so a lot of you have been around the arts and like it, obviously, because that's why you're here. Pardon me? And you're new to it's new to you. That's okay too. That's okay too. We do newbies too. If you look me up on the net, whatever, I take beginners and I take advanced people and I mix them together. People say, why do you do that, Sarah? Real simple. The newbies learn from the advanced people. And the advanced people learned how to go back to their basic roots and get re-educated. Because sometimes we forget as we go into the business of what we do. Agreed? Yeah, right? Okay. Because sometimes you know more and you think everybody knows it, but you don't. So there are no silly questions with me. Nobody makes mistakes in my class. Everything is safe. It's a safe environment to work in and to risk coming up and talking, doing your monologues if we do theater, or doing your scene work if we do camera work. So today with theater, all of you have gone to the theater, yes? Yes? Okay, so you know what that is. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of memorization techniques. That's a lot of blocking. That's a lot of work. So we can do a class that will finish with a performance, if that's what you want, of monologues and scenes. Or we can do 4 weeks of just monologues. Or 4 weeks of just scenes. That would be your theater work. And your scene work, you'd have to have a partner. I have a lot of theater pieces in my house. I have a lot of camera pieces in my house, so we don't have to worry about what we're going to do. With monologues, I also have a lot of those. If you have monologues, or you want to go get your own, that's okay too. You just bring it into class. I even teach a class how to pick a monologue. That might not be for you, but it might be. It depends on what you want. So again, I'm here to be molded into bringing the class to you that you want. So with theater, how many people have done a monologue? Oh, quite a few of you. Okay, good. You remember? Yes, you do, don't you? With a little bit of help, that comes right back. Once you have that monologue, you own it forever and a day. And I always say with that, it's really good when you have that because you never know where you're going to need it. A new student of mine just called the other day and he said, this guy wants to fly to New York, blah, 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 and he needs a monologue. And I said, you're not ready to do this yet. You don't even have it. So let's calm down. This is a process like everything else. You didn't know how to ride a bike until you knew how to ride a bike. So the same thing with acting acting and modeling, you have to learn the process of how to do it. It's not hard, it just takes work. It just takes a little bit of commitment in what you're doing and constantly work. And like I say, every class that I teach, when it comes to theater classes or film and television classes or basic, I give you memorization techniques. And I got these early in my career, before I was teaching, so I assumed everybody got it. Just like I said before, everybody assumes everybody knows what you know, but they don't. So when I started to introduce that into my classes and people saying, I never saw this before. Even at the acting school in South Florida, my boss, he said he had never seen that before. So I got very lucky that I got somebody to teach me memorization techniques when I began. So I passed that on to all my students, whether it be theater people or camera people. So today, we have two people with us today who are going to give you a taste of monologues. Okay, just a little bit of a taste of the monologues. And we have Christelle who works here.
Hi.
You know, she was my past student. They said, oh, you can have Christelle do it. And we have my assistant who is Ashley Hemmings. So both of them are going to come up and do a monologue for you. Okay, and any questions you have, please hold them to when they towards the end about any of the classes or anything we're doing, so that way the flow and you get everything I'm talking about today. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, Christelle, do your thing, babe.
Hi everyone, how are you? So as you guys know me as the admin assistant for Life Enrichment. Oh, okay. Do I have to say it?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone. All right, as you know, my name is Christelle Babb, and I am Life Enrichment's admin assistant. And I see many familiar faces, so I'm so happy to see everyone here. And I'm going to perform a monologue for you guys. So, all right.
Entitled?
So it's from a book called Break the Rules and Get the Part. And it's a book written by Lyra Kellerman. All right. Hey, Addison, we need to have a serious roommate sit down. Come here, please. Sit down. Thank you. Remember when we first moved in, we were like, what's mine is yours, mi casa is tu casa. Clothes, I don't mind sharing clothes with you. Food, as long as you don't take the last of it, or you immediately replace it, cool. But, how do I say this? My back massager? I don't even use that to massage my back. So, and I know your job sucks and you suffer from a lot of back pain, but I think it's time for you to get your own. Yeah, get your own. All right.
And now Ashley.
How you doing? I'm Ashley Hemmings. As Sarah said before, I'm her assistant. I've been helping her out for about 2-3 years now. We met about 7 years ago at Art Serve. Back then, she would come in and I would help her set up, and she would teach a bunch of classes, monologues and scenes. She would teach camera classes or speaking classes, and she's been doing it for a long time, and she's real good at it. And you'll see. And I don't know if you've seen some of her. You might have seen some of her students on TV doing commercials or behind us in movies. But yeah, she's been in the industry for a very long time, and she's helped me out a lot too, and I appreciate that. So I try to help her out when I can. So I'm going to perform a monologue called The Rookie Cop. It was written by Adam J. Wahlberg, and I'll be playing the senior cop. I gotta be honest with you. I've never seen a grown man cry, let alone one your size. Is that what you do when things get tough? You cry? Let me tell you something. My dad used to beat the hell out of me, even if he saw my lip quiver. But I don't hold a grudge. Hell, it made me strong. And to do this job, you have to be strong. You think this is rough? Let me tell you something. My first week on the force, my partner and I, we received an emergency call. We had to make our way over to Sully's on 18th, and there was this kid shooting barflies at random. The waitress pouring drinks, she was dead. A couple of patrons too. And then that kid, he turned his gun on me. I had no choice. I put one right between his eyes. The coroner later told us that the kid was all messed up on meth. He was 9 years old. I'll never forget his name. His name was Travis Devereaux. Oh my God, why didn't I tell you any of this while we were driving around all day? Because it didn't matter. Who was he? Someone's cousin? Brother? I don't know. I did my job. Now, I need you to stop crying, get back over here, because we got a job to do.
Okay, so as you see, when Christelle started, there's a couple of rules. I only have one really big rule in my class, is like there's none of this. I don't care how cold the room gets, because you shut down. But when you're doing your monologues, and I ask you to please, let's talk about the writer. Hi, my name is, written, if I'm doing a piece from, written by so-and-so, and my character is so-and-so. And that's how we do monologues. Because when people go out to do real auditions, sometimes you get an opportunity to do all that, and sometimes you do not. Sometimes they just want you to get right into it. But I like them to be prepared in case they really want to do theater auditions. So they have the whole gamut. Because some people say, well, who wrote that? Or what is this and what is that? The other thing we do when we do our theater classes is when you do your monologues and you get up, I teach you how to make it really work. And I call it, you find your valleys and your hills of your monologue. Instead of getting up there and going, blah, 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 and everybody's falling asleep. It's the same thing when I teach public speakers. That's camera now. We're going back, we're switching the camera there. They don't understand that I teach it as if I'm teaching actors. But it just makes it better. Instead of they're talking for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and it gets very boring to the audience. You have to have those valleys and hills. So that's another exercise that I do in that particular class, in my theater classes. Again, I got lucky, found some really good teachers when I was coming up, and here I am today. I've been teaching for 43 years, for those who want to know. I would go 40 years, or something, for so many years when I say that in the public, but you're all kind of my age, so it's okay. So it's a lot of fun. But in my classes, like I said, you can't make a mistake. So you're all here today because you have an interest in doing something artistic, which I'm thrilled about. I'm really thrilled to be here, and I'm thrilled to be able to do it. So like I say, our theater classes and our scene classes for theater are two different things than our camera classes. Now our improv is, I heard that you had somebody offering improvisation here for bereavement. I don't do that. This is for you to come and let your inner child out. Come and have fun. I allow you to have fun. Just have fun. And I teach you about improvisation and how there are rules to improvisation. I have one student going, there's rules to this? Yes, there's rules to improvisation. So I teach you the rules of each and every improvisational game, and then we get to do it and we perform it. I studied 3.5 years, and I love the art. I think it's a beautiful art. And then I see these signs. It says, welcome to the improv. And you go in, it's stand-up comedy. No, this is not stand-up comedy. So I don't like that. There are two different art forms. Somebody wanted me to come to Tampa and teach improv, stand-up comedy. I went, absolutely. Well, I'll send you the book. I don't want to teach stand-up comedy. I don't think it's an art form that I like so much. I don't like cursing. I don't like people calling other people names. It's just not necessary. When I was coming up in improv, we play at the top of our intelligence. You don't play at the bottom of the barrel. If you do that, then you're very well known and you can get away with it. Not my cup of tea. But I only teach what I like, and I only teach and pass on so you can go out there and have lots and lots of fun with it. Speaking of that, I'm going to have Ashley come up here. You can put the paper down. You don't need your paper yet. Not the scene. This is my life as a. This is an improv. You can stand there. My life as a. What we do here in this particular thing. This is just for improvisation. What we do is we say to the audience, my life as a. So you suggest an inanimate object. Okay, so you ask and I will give you one, just before they can know what it is. My life as a, say it.
My life as a
Hairpin.
hairpin. My life as a hairpin is stylish. I get to be in lots of hairs. I get to be in blonde hair, brunette, redheads, sometimes colorful hairs like pink or green. I go all over the world. I get styled in plays, movies, runways. I get to travel with other hairpins. It's a glamorous lifestyle, unless you get thrown away by the wayside and then you're just trash. So that's my life as a hairpin.
And now Ms. Knox going to do one. So now you got the idea. So we open up with, we ask our audience, my life as a, and you all give an inanimate object that she has to portray. And when she's finished, sometimes you can't think of a whole lot of sentences to say about that particular object. So what you do is, as soon as, even if you have just one, at the end you go, and that's my life as. So you don't have to go on, or you can make it short, you can make it long. So.
All right. Ready? All right, my life as a.
Espresso machine.
All right. My life as an espresso machine. Well, I see many people every day, new faces. I get to smell fresh coffee beans every morning. I get to highlight everyone's day so they can be caffeinated to do their million errands they have to do. So yeah, that's my life as a espresso machine.
Okay, just to be fair, you give me one. Okay, my life as a
Ice cream.
ice cream. My life as an ice cream. Well, I start off in a cow, and then I get milked out, and then I get processed, and I even have sugar put in me, or pistachio, or cherry, and then I go to the ice cream place, and people come in, and then I become a cone, or I become, something they can have in a little plastic cup with a little spoon and have me. Instead of yogurt, they go with ice cream. And after that, after I'm all ate up, I have to start the process all over again. But boy, do they really like me. And that's my life as ice cream. I don't ever ask them to do anything I cannot do. Okay? Okay, so now that's our improv. So that's just one easy, simple one that we do is my life as I do many, many others. If I had 4 people here today, which I don't think they want to do. Now he's going, no, M&M don't want to do anything, okay. But no, I can't take your picture. This is for me. We're doing my camera that he's running. It's just for me. I'm not allowed to take any pictures of you. I was told that, and I will not take any pictures of you. So anyway, We do many different types of improv. A lot of them is just talking to each other as if you're talking every day, as if you're having a conversation. We do improv daily when you're on the phone with people who give you really bad customer service today. I said to an airline one time, I don't know how the Americans got here. I don't know how we got here, but really we get bad customer service. Or none at all, one or the other. And it gets you really, really frustrated. So, you know, have you ever seen anybody screaming at the phone? What do you mean I have to hit number 1? I pressed 5 times! My girlfriend did that and I said, you're talking to a machine. Just stop. So she got so frustrated that she kept calling, and all she kept getting was the machine. But you do improv every day. When you're on the telephone, when you interact at restaurants, when you're ordering drinks, or whatever it is that you're doing. So that's improv. If you just calm down and let it happen, you'll have so much fun doing it. And that's what I said. In improv, we let you take a risk and let that inner child out to play. Because we don't get allowed to do that very often. So that's our improv again. Theater, improv. Now we'll go to camera. So what happens in my camera classes? Simple. You come in, I teach you how to slate for camera. For those of you who know, you know what that is. For those of you who don't, who think you know what that is, you think it's that big clapboard. Because it is, that's also called a slate. But that's slating for the camera. But when an actor slates for the camera, it's usually how tall are you, what's your name, let me have profiles. I teach all that in the basic camera class. And then we do playback. And on these particular classes, in all of my classes, I have a minimum of 5 people, but a maximum of 10. That's it. Because otherwise you won't get any attention. It goes, if you go to, in improv I can probably do 15 to 20. I shouldn't say that. Improv can go a little further. But any camera class, any theater class, the minimum would be 5, and also in those classes minimums of 5, but maximum for camera would be 10. Because it takes a lot of time for you to get up in front of the camera, to do what we're asking you to do, and then play it back on the television for you to see and everybody to see and have a critique. And again, you cannot do anything wrong in my class. All I do is make it better. I take what you've given us and just tweak it a little bit and make it better. Does it always work? No. But we try it again, and we try it a different way. And that's what you do. We also do, Ashley and I basically do a lot of this. We do self-submission for actors. So they come and they have to be totally memorized. And I can get them in and out in an hour. So we tape them. We watch all the takes that we did. We choose them. And then we send them out for them. And we have to do a conversion from that camera there is a 4K. And we have to convert it to an MP4 so they can put it out into the world. So we do a lot. And I love what I do, obviously. I'm here. And I have no problems working with anyone. As long as you do the work, I'm happy. So with camera classes, that's what I do for that basic camera. We do it for 4 weeks of camera. I do it for public speaking. On public speaking, you're required to bring in a 5-minute presentation that you bring. I don't reinvent the wheel. I don't say talk about beans, coffee beans out of Colombia. I don't say that. You bring it to me because I don't know what you want to talk about. Maybe you have to be talking at a wedding or saying something at a wedding, or you're doing something somewhere. So that's for you to know and for me to help you with. So that's for public speaking. And then your storytelling is similar to public speaking, is you bring in a story. And each time we make it better and better and better. And you can change these every week. You can change it every week if you want, because usually those are 4-week classes for the public speaking and or the storytelling. We can go to 6 if you need it. And that's another thing she wanted me to talk about and ask you about. Right now I teach, when I do theater classes and my improvisation classes and my camera classes, they're 3 hours. People go, 3 hours? 3 hours? How bad was my 3-hour class?
Not bad at all.
It flies,
it
right?
It flies really quickly because you're having fun. So.
And you're working on things, and before you know it, those 3 hours go quickly. If you say 2 hours, I can do things in 2 hours. I can do it in 2 hours, I can do it in 3 hours. I've got called by the a long time ago by the Broward Center for the Performing Arts, and they wanted me to do 55 minutes. That's 1 hour, right? Right, 1 hour, just 5 minutes less than an hour. I said to them, you're talking, what? You want me to teach a theater class in 55 minutes? I said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. My minimum would be 2.5 hours. Minimum. 2 hours, 2.5, maybe 2 hours I might have considered it, but I said, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And then I went to see things that they do when they teach. They've gotten better, but I still would not teach there because I didn't like it. I didn't like that they cut them short. To me, that 3 hours, you need that 3 hours because you're doing your monologues. We're working on your monologues. You're doing your memorizations. All this gets done outside of class. So you have a partner. You have to get with your partner, and you have to work on that. So that, by the time you do it, by the time you work on it, by the time you perform it, an hour is gone by just like that. 2 hours and 3 hours, and it's the end. Because I have to talk to you in between, don't I? I can't just let you go up there and do your thing and say, okay, that's great, or great, and you fall on your face, so we don't do that. Okay? How much time do I have, please?
Have
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
I have 30 minutes, good. Okay, so I'm going to open up the floor and for questions and see if you have anything that I can help you with. Anybody have any questions for me? You do?
Yeah, what's the difference between storytelling and public speaking?
What's the difference between storytelling and public speaking? Okay. Not much. Not much, but public speakers, when they see public speaking, they are terrified. Terrified. Whereas when you say storytelling, they think, oh, I can tell a story. So when the boss says, this is the new product, and you've got to speak about it, and they come to me because they have to speak in front of a whole bunch of people about their new product, they get so terrified. Seriously. I had a guy come to me one time. He was sent out to learn the product, and he comes to me and he said something, and I said, you forgot to tell them to turn it on. That's simple, because he was so nervous. He said, what do you mean? They should know how. No. When you're training people, you need to tell them the bottom line. Turn on the machine. And he said, you're right. You're right, because it's, where is it? It's a brand new machine to these people. So he got scared because he didn't know what to say to these people. So he went over his new product. So he went over it and he felt comfortable, and then he went out into the world and he said it, whatever he had to do. With storytelling, you have a piece of your life, a slice of your life that you're going to share, or some kind of story that you want to share, whether it's yours or somebody else's. You already know the story. You feel comfortable. And that's playing the intention instead of playing the written word that he had to come up with. So there's little nuances that are a little different, one from the other, but that was a very good question. But they're very, very similar. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So given that, what would you say the difference is between storytelling and stand-up?
Oh, there's a big difference between storytelling and stand-up. With stand-up, they're written by line. So they're talking about, who was it that used to always say, take my wife? Was it? Henry Young, take my wife or whatever. So, that is written line by line. And they go for, it's called a punchline. They give the punchline, and that's the difference. They have to punch that line to get a laugh. Whereas in public speaking and or storytelling, you're not so much looking for the punchline. You're just telling the story. So now they have story slams. They have story competitions. There's a whole bunch of things out there. I tried to do this years ago, and now it's getting really, really popular. So again, people say they're coming and they don't show up at the class, but again, that's on them. People say to me, I'm coming to you privately, and because I have to learn how to do something for my job, or I got promoted, or whatever, and then they don't show up. Well, it's like, it's not me. I know what I'm doing. You called me. I didn't call you. It's just, that's what I'm saying. I don't get mad at them because they get frightened. They get really frightened. Did I answer your question?
You did, thank
Okay. Yeah, so that punchline could be, that's why I didn't teach it, because it's really a lot of English writing. It's a lot of writing. And for people to do that, you have to study it, and you have to be funny and know how to, I think stand-up is the hardest thing you can do. Personally, that's what I think. It's not one of my favorite things. The other thing I don't like, which for a theater person who got trained in the theater, I don't like one-person shows. I saw Eleanor Roosevelt performed it way back when in Coconut Grove, and the Coconut Grove Theater was alive and well, now it's coming back. But it was good, but it still doesn't hold my interest. I liked a couple of people in a show, even if it's two. That's me personally, though. Did you have a question back there? No? Okay, I thought that his hand was coming up. Okay, there you go. Anybody else?
You didn't say much about theater. Is that just the acting dialogue, or is there more to it than that?
Oh, there's a whole bunch more to it. For the theater, I only teach you the acting portion of the theater and the blocking for theater and memorization techniques for the theater. So what is your blocking? What is blocking? Blocking means where you walk. That's what that means. So you know how when you watch a show, regardless, let's go with theater, they don't run into each other because you could. So they have the chairs, and I teach you what downstage and upstage means, and I teach you right stage, left, and what all that means, and why they do it. And basically, I show you, that's what I show you. I explain those things to you. However, what was that? What else? Oh, but the acting portion of it is what I really do. It's
Memorization.
the memorization techniques. I go over that. And you can use that memorization techniques in anything you need to memorize, anything at all. So I take that, I also do that in my public speaking when they have things that they have to learn, a lot of dialogue. It's the same as a monologue, because they're doing it all by themselves, and they have to keep it interesting. And I really didn't want to teach public speaking. I was pushed into it by a student who came to me, who's on the world stage today in Africa, because there was a food famine going on when she first took this over. She's an attorney here in Fort Lauderdale, and she came to me, and first she had to do 10 minutes or something, 15 minutes, and she came to me, and I said to her, first of all, let's get you dressed right, because there's when you dress for camera, there's a way to dress for camera. When you dress for theater and somebody's taping you, there's a way to dress for that. So, but not the big productions, because they have all the lighting, everything they need. I mean, you have state-of-the-art here. When she took me around to show me this place, wow, guys, come on, you've got the best. Get out there and do something. Really, you've got great stuff going on here. I love this little room, though. I hope this is where I get to teach all the time. But, so I show you what the theater is, what does it mean by, what does this mean, what does that mean, what is the fourth wall. I teach you all those things in the course of the class. Did that answer your question? Yeah. Okay.
So basically what you do, you be like a director.
Kind of, like, yeah, I kind of direct you a little bit, but again, when it comes to your scenes, I let you start, I tell you what to look for, how to do it,
Yeah.
and then I ask you to bring it in, and then I make it better. And I just tweak it a little bit, because what I want is the creativity that's inside of you to become out into the open.
So you refine. the
Yes, I
acting,
refine what you do. Yes, absolutely.
And then you do the blocking.
I help you with the blocking.
Right, okay.
I let you do it, but I help you with it
Mhm.
to make it better.
All right.
That's good, that's good. Good questions. Come on, I know I've got more. All that talking I did, you won't have any questions. Thank you.
The improv,
I have two questions and sort of suggestion.
Okay.
Question one is, where are the classes held? Question two is there some kind of a prospectus which I can take home and decide about and return if I want to take a particular class? The suggestion is, when I was living in New York, in the local elder center, what we did, we just did play reading.
That's good, we can do that, yeah.
Groups of maybe 5, 8, maybe 10 people got together. I remember we read a lot of Horton, and we just enjoyed the reading, and maybe it some point we presented it. But there wasn't
Readings
really
are
a
good.
lot of learning.
I see. Okay, that's a suggestion. You all can put that on the back of your questionnaires that you have. You can put a suggestion there, I'm sure, because I asked her if you had an idea, which you had, that would be great. Where are the classes held? That's to be determined upon when we all make this decision about what you all want. That's number, what was your second question?
Syllabus.
What is it?
He has
syllabus
a
that we can take it
syllabus.
home.
Oh, a syllabus. No, I don't have a syllabus, but I have a website you can go to, and you can read all about all my classes, and it'll give you an idea. It might not be exact about what I'll be doing here, but it gives you an idea, and that's adultactingcoach.com. So just thinking of adults. Somebody said to me when I took that name, sounds like a porn star to me. And I went, oh, no, that's on you. That's on you. And then how did I come to become the adultactingcoach.com? I had a student called Jaramelli was her last name. I can't remember her first name at this moment. And she said, Sarah, I searched and I searched and I searched for an adult acting class. And when I put in acting classes, I got children's classes, which that's true. If you put it in there, that's what you get in your area. So I went, thank you. So now we're doing the design, and my designer said, Sarah Rogers, do Sarah Rogers' website. And I went, okay. In the middle of the night, I popped up out of bed, ran to my desk, and wrote adultactingcoach.com. This is before we went live. So I said to him, he goes, well, that's a weird name. I said, just listen to me, please. Just please listen to me. Just do it. It's the best thing I ever did. Because adult acting coach tells you it's not children. Because it gets really frustrating for them when they're looking for classes that are not just children. So it was a photographer that said that to me. Well, it sounds like a plan. And I went to him, well, that's on you. You got 39. So he was just funny. But yeah, so that's where you could find out. It's just an adult acting coach. I'm not sure they can send it to you if you need it to look it up. And as far as the play readings are concerned, that's a great idea. Do you know there's a lot of free plays that go on to watch new playwrights that come up? I go to see shorts on Commercial, and that's 2 or 3 times a year. They have all new productions going on. They do a showcase of all new shows. But that's a good idea. Whether it's a script for a play or a script for a film, it's always nice to hear it out loud. That's what the playwrights and the writers like to hear. And it's called Arts Accelerated. They had that just a couple of weeks ago. A lot of the playwrights were doing it. But that's a good idea. So talk to them about it.
Oh, I have the mic. Sorry, Steve.
He's got the mic.
Is music involved in any of your classes?
No, I'm not a musical theater class teacher. I don't do music. I can't sing. I don't pretend I can sing. You don't want to hear me sing. But yes, the musical theater would be great, but no, not in my particular class. But I'm sure that if this program starts to kick off, that she could bring somebody in to do some kind of musical theater for you. I think.
Oh, I don't know if
Do you
it's for me.
sing?
I like music and didn't know if any of the classes you involved it in one way or another, whether it's a monologue or, the public speaking or whatever.
No, I don't incorporate any type of music.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even read music. I love music. I love all types of music, but yeah, that's not it.
We have a question.
Yes. Thank you.
With the improv, you gave 2 examples, but you also said earlier that the improv group would be, could be 15 or even 20 people.
Mhm.
Could you give me an idea of what you would be doing?
In the class?
That's right.
Okay. In the class, basically, first of all, I do the very first class of all my classes, whether it's theater, well, improv I consider part of the theater. I do what I like to say are exercises for me. That shows me where the levels are in that particular class. I do exercises that are trust exercises. That you have to trust your people on the stage, regardless if it's theater or improv. You have to trust your partners. Because if you don't have trust, you're going to be at 2 opposite ends of the spectrum. We don't want that. We want you together and collaborate not far apart. So we do that in the beginning, and then I see what I have in the class, and then I go through the theater. They're called theater games, but when we perform them, it's improvisation. So we do each one of the games, which have rules, regardless of what they are. It depends on what it is. We have talking hands, for instance. Let me give you that one. We'll have 4 people. And I always say ladies first. So we have two women here and 2 men in the back, and you take your hands and you put them behind you like this. And Ash, come. So the guy would be behind me, okay, and put his head on him. See? So, and you give me a topic, any topic whatsoever. So I'm talking right now, so he's just being my hands, okay? So sometimes they slap. So then we have 2 people and they have a conversation. So, and then we go switch. Ha ha ha. Now I get you. Okay. And then we go switch, and the same thing happens here. Talk, say something.
So I like flowers. I love flowers. Flowers are the best. I can stand and smell flowers all day long, and I just love flowers. And
I see bees, they love flowers too, and I love bees, I love flowers, and flowers love me, and I just love flowers.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. So that's one of the improvisational exercises that we do. And we do it as, we have 2 people, so sometimes then you'll have a conversation with whomever is there with you, and then we do switch and we do the same thing. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun that you do this and you just laugh, and that's just one of them. I've got about 63 out of thousands, but I have a book that I created that I always create my own. I create my own stuff all the time. I get it from different areas, and then I create, and then I present. Because it's easier to do it that way, so I'm very clear on what they are, because I cannot remember all of them at all times. There's thousands of improvisations.
But you said that, that you do this and you observe the,
That's what I do my exercises.
right, but, to see where they may fit later? Is there
Right.
something that follow, yes,
Right. So I want to see where the trust is as far as the group is concerned. So then I can I go slowly and then I move up on the improvisations that I have available to
yes,
see how you're working as a group.
right,
This is not just me doing it, this is the participants becoming a group participant, and they move in unison.
right, but we stay with improv.
Yes,
Okay, that's what I wanted.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
On the first day, my trust exercises are for me, just to kind of see where you are as far as that is concerned. Yeah.
It's not going anywhere else.
Not going anywhere else, that's just for me, no, that's just for me. And as the group, whenever whoever we have in the group, whether it's 10 people or 15 people or 10 people or 5 people, that's the group. That's our group, that's who we have, and that's what we work with. This last people that I had, sometimes in my theater classes, I do what's called, let me show you. At the end of my 8 weeks that I do at ArtServe on my own, we haven't offered you 8 weeks because we think that you might be bored, and that's why we didn't offer that. But if you choose to do it, we do a performance at the end of the 8 weeks. I know I had one in here. Did I give her both of them? It's called Bare Bones Performance, and we'll make sure you have your pictures, and in the inside of the pictures, and then all the stuff that your pictures are there, and it's called, here it is, here's the playbill. I can just pass it down. This is what it looks like, okay? This is the playbill, what's going to happen that particular night. We just had one on Monday night. We just finished an 8-week program, and when you open the program, it has all the pictures for all the participants and what they're doing, all their monologues and scenes. But this is 8 weeks. This takes 8 weeks to do, because you need those extra 2 weeks to do the memorization techniques and to do the blocking and to know where you're going. So that's why we didn't kind of offer you that, but if you think you want it, it's another thing on the table. You can write that on the back. Was there another question here? Somebody, yes?
One of the things that I thought might be good for this group and age group
Okay.
would be kind of what he was saying about the play readings, but doing a radio play.
That's fun.
because then we get the acting in,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have to be scared to death about the memorization.
That's very true, and you can just use, all you have to do is go up here, and you'll have your little, what they use music stands, and you turn the pages, and that's really nice too, that's a good thing to do. Yeah, anything that is artistic that you want, this is why we're here today. So please speak up. Please speak up and say that, it would be fine, and again, we'd have to find the radio pieces to do. It's a little bit of research, things we can do or not do, which is fine. Whatever you guys want, this is why we're here. Right? Is that right, Valerie?
We have a group here that's an improv group.
Okay.
I only went to one of their meetings, but they had about 10 people or 12 people, and they meet on a regular basis. And it was interesting. We also had a teacher come in from FAU and do 3 sessions on storytelling.
Okay.
And we had about 20 people interested in that. I know some are here that participated in that. And then we had just really one session to teach you storytelling, and then a competition, where everybody got up there and told their stories, and then, gave some kind of pretend awards. And the storytelling was nice because everybody has, like you said, everybody has a story to tell, and we learned a lot about the different people and their experiences during the storytelling, and I liked that and enjoyed that really very much. And I would love to see a longer session on storytelling and exercise like that.
It's very possible. Like I said, whatever you like, we can figure that out. And I'm not adverse to anything that you would like to have done. And I can never, if I can't help you, believe me, they'll find somebody who can. It's okay. I'm not here to be beat up or for you to say, oh, I don't like her, or, we're not going to have her here. Whatever works for you guys. This is what, it's about you. It's not about me. It's not about this facility. It's about you. That's why I'm here. So we give you a lot of opportunities to voice your opinion and to say, and I'm glad that you had an improv, but why did you only go to one?
I don't mean to be critical.
No.
You can't judge after one, but it didn't turn me on, although I did say to myself, I should go back a few more times and see what it was like, and I just haven't had a chance to do that.
Okay. It would have helped. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing about improvisation that I have learned through the years. I even do this in my theater classes when we present the monologues and the scenes. Why? Because people get bored of watching monologue, scene, monologue, scene. But if it's monologue, scene, and somewhere in there you throw in a quick improv, everybody's laughing at it or whatever they're doing. And so there's a couple of ways to do it. As well with improvisation, when I get really stiff students for camera, hi, I'm Sara Rogers. Yes, I'm 5'4". Here's my profiles. Okay, too stiff. You want to be more conversational. You want to be more authentic in who you are. Everybody comes to the table with their own stories, with their own authenticity, and we want to see that. We don't want you to be another person because they're all taken. Just be you. And when you're you, believe it, the authenticity comes out and it all comes together. So improv gives you that opportunity, like my life adds up. So you can just think, my life as a whatever, and you do it, and you can just imagine you being that person or that thing, and that's my life adds up. And if you can't think of anything because you're having a bad day, or you just can't think that day because you're foggy, whatever. You just say, my life is a whatever, is as a needle. People thread through me and I sew on a button, that's my life as a needle. I mean, whatever works. So this is not brain surgery. We're here to have fun, we're here to learn, and we're here to do. So you're going to have your, oh, you had a question? I'm sorry, I talked too long. Oh.
I just wanted to say a couple of words about the improv group here. It was mentioned earlier that it's a group that has something to do with bereavement, which I wanted to correct that. Maybe there's another improv group that...
Oh, I don't know, that's what I was
focuses on bereavement, but we don't focus on bereavement, we focus on joy, having
That's
fun,
right, joy and happiness is.
getting free, improving our memories,
Right,
and just really having a great time. And I've been going to it for over a year.
Having
And
a
I
great
will
time.
say that the first couple weeks that I went, I was, what am I doing here? But then I did that at John Knox in general. So I got over that and I got over that. So I highly recommend the improv group here,
to
and I will
anyone. Improv
definitely.
is wonderful. It really, really opens your eyes and you have a lot of fun with it, and especially shy people, a lot of shy people. I don't know if anybody here is shy, but you know, you're all here because you've obviously done this before, or you just have a little interest. But that gives you to open up a little bit and have fun with that, and you move a little bit more. Like I say, even my people that are really uptight, and I go, just loosen up, go take improv, just start to take improv, whether it's with me or somebody else. I don't say you have to study with me. I have a kid now. He started with me when I went to say something to him, and I touched him on the shoulder, and he jumped, just like he thought I was going to beat him up, and I went, honey, I will never hurt you. And he's been with me now, and then he says to me, I'm studying with so-and-so. I said, good, go study with so-and-so, because like dancers, like everybody, you study with different people, you get your different techniques, and then you become your own technique. And once you get your own technique, then you feel real comfortable doing it. It takes a minute. It's a process. So I love the idea that you love improv. I think that's fabulous, and this young lady too. That's great. Yeah. Thank you. Now you need to go back.
Okay, I promise.
Any other questions?
No, I just want to say
Sure.
about that bereavement. There are 2 bereavement groups here on this campus, but none of them are bereavement improv.
None of them are bereavement
Improv.
Oh,
No.
I thought it was an improv. That's what
No,
I guess
no.
I misunderstood.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have to say that improv group that I've gone to, I think for 2 years now, Michael,
So there, Michael.
just helped me to rediscover myself.
Exactly.
So, thank you, James.
So good. So any other questions? No?
See how thorough you were?
Really? I'm amazed. I'm amazed that you don't have any questions at all.
Oh, there's one more.
Oh, where, one, okay, yes, Way.
Yes, I'm not sure if I understood or not when you mentioned about theater. And you need to bring your own material, or
No.
how does that work?
No. If you have, some people like to look on the internet and get there, or go to the library. I prefer you go to the library and get things out of the library from absolutely, positively produced theater. But, as you know, I deal with a lot of different age ranges, and then they go on the internet and they bring me things, and sometimes I find they come with some really nice pieces. So what I do in the class is, class 1, we pick our monologues. If you don't have them, I have a slew of them with me, for men and for women, and we go through them, and you read 2 or 3 of them, and we ask as a group, which one do you think works better for me? And they help you decide which one to do. And then you do that. And then as far as the scenes are concerned, no, I help you pick the scenes. I pick the scenes and help you do that as well.
Because like as a new person, I mean, where would you start?
Exactly. Well, you start to go to the library and read theater. Or you go online today to look at monologues for women. They sell books on it. They have books on it at the library on it. You have theater books on it. You can read all the plays you can possibly read, and something will hit you.
Where would you place something like an excerpt from William Lloyd Garrison's I Will Be Heard? Is that just a...
It could be a monologue, but remember with monologues, it has to have a beginning, a middle, and an ending.
Okay.
If it has an excerpt, that's fine, but you have to have, just as long as it has, now if it doesn't have those criteria, you can always add to finish it or add to start it, but it can't go on forever. It has to be like about no more than 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So I'm that thorough? Come on, guys.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you. Okay, we got that. Okay, this is going to come to me, everything else for you. And again, if you have some suggestion that is not on there, please fill out something on the back. Do whatever you think is good, and Jody will get back to me, or she won't, and it's okay, whatever. I'm so happy to be here today. This is the first thing they have here in this room, so I feel privileged to be here. So thank you, and namaste.
Would you like to take it to think about? Okay.